Hi, welcome to another episode of Deployapps.io series. In the previous screencast, we have seen how we can use the rollback feature of Deployapps.io to automatically roll back our deployment if anything goes wrong. Now, in this episode, we will see how we can automate our Laravel application deployment. So, we have a test server, and in test server, we have Laravel application is running. Here we can see now we have a repository. This is the repository. We will create a pipeline in the deployapps.io and we will deploy from our GitHub to DigitalOcean server. Okay, so first let's log into the server and see where our Laravel application is located. So this is the directory where our Laravel application is located. We have a env file where our database configuration is added, and we have a storage folder where all of our files are stored. So now to automate this deployment, what we can do, we can create a new folder where our application will be deployed. Okay, so let's say we have this Laravel. So what I will do, I will create a folder. So you can create any type of folder. You can even use this folder also. So I am not recommending to remove this folder because all of your data and everything is present. So let's keep that as it is. So we will create a new folder. So let's call this my Laravel. Okay. So now inside my Laravel here nothing is present. So what I will do, we have two very important files in my existing Laravel, which is .env file and storage folder. So we will copy both the file and folder. So let me copy cp laravel.env. We will copy it to my Laravel directory. Okay, now cp -r, we will copy the storage directory. So here, so let's go to the my Laravel directory and see what is present. So we have the env folder and storage. Those two things is present. So now we will copy this path and we will use as a deployment directory in our deployapps.io. So we are not touching our existing Laravel folder, just we are keeping as a backup. Okay, now let's go to the deployapps.io, create a pipeline because we have already configured the server. Okay, so you can use the blank canvas or you can use Laravel latest template just to quickly implement the pipeline. So this is Laravel pipeline. So now here we will use this deployment path. Okay, now we need this GitHub repository, so you can copy this and paste in the here. We have a main branch, and the deployment health check URL, this will be this one. So once the deployment is done, it will check whether this page is opening or not. Okay, think my keyboard has some issues. Okay, so let me paste that manually. Okay, so we have added all the things. Now what are the things? So first it's cloning the source code, then it's mapping the deployment directory storage with the deployed folder storage directory. Same thing for the env. Installing Composer, it's optimizing the Laravel. Okay, optimizing configuration, route, view. So if you don't want those, you can remove those. We are keeping these migrations. Okay, and let's say we want to give some 777 permission. So let's say storage permission. Now where our storage directory is present, storage. So now you can run like a sudo, or let's say if you are running as a ww data, so then you can like change the ownership to ww data, then you don't have to give 777 permission. Okay, so let's keep that simple. Now everything is configured. Okay, so let's review one more time. This is the pipeline name, it can be anything. Environment you can select just for identification. Next is health check URL. From GitHub we are deploying. This is the GitHub URL, GitHub branch. This branch we will deploy. We are not enabling auto deployment. We will be manually deploying. Then selecting server. Here the deployment path. Here our deployment will be located. Okay, every time we will deploy, and this many copies of deployment will be remain in the server, and the older versions will be deleted from the server just to save the storage. Now let's click save and close. So now let's deploy this Laravel application. Deploy. Okay, so our deployment process started. Okay, it's installing Composer dependencies. Migration also done. Storage permission given, activate release, and purge old releases. So now let me see what is the folder structure. So we can see a release folder is created and a current directory. So this is the folder where our active deployment will be present, and here all the deployments, previous deployment will be also present here. So we need to map this document rules in our Apache or Nginx. So let me go to the current directory, and inside the public, because Laravel we need to map till public folder. So we will copy this one, and let's say gc apache 2 sites available default. Okay, so here we have the existing Laravel, just we will change this root document root, nothing else. And if I save this, and let's say restart Apache. Now let's review these things. Okay, so here you can see our application deployed successfully via deployapps.io. So let's quickly make some changes to the application and see whether those things are reflecting or not. Okay, so this is the welcome page, and I will add some text. Let's say the workflow, or let's search this one. Okay, so below I will add a h3 deployed via deployapps.io. Now let's add just changes added. Now git push origin main. Now this is not like a auto deployment mode is enabled, so that's why we need to enable deploy manually. So let's go. This is the first commit is deployed, and now if I try to deploy, okay, so here the deployment process is running, and now Composer install, migrate database, storage permissions, everything is done. Now if I come here and refresh, here you can see our changes is coming here, right? So that is pretty easy to automate your Laravel deployment process. Now let's enable the auto deployment, so that whenever we will push some changes to this particular branch, that is main branch, our code will be automatically deployed. So let's save and close, and I will make a change again. So let's say auto deployment. Okay, So auto deployment added. Let me add h2 and just quickly add, and I will change to auto deployment. Now, as I will push these changes, our Deployapps I will automatically detect. Yes, you can see the deployment is auto detected, and deployment is started. So if you want to view the deployment, you can click on view last log. So it's already Composer installation is done and done. So here, if I refresh this page, so here you can see auto deployment. So this is how easy to automate your Laravel deployment process using deployapps.io. If you want to run more command, let's say you have some custom command after deployment, you want to run those command, you can add them here as run command. Here you can write php addition something or any Linux command. You can place that command at appropriate stage, and during deployment that command will be run. Let's say php addition route cache or anything, config cache, it can be anything. Okay, other features is also present. You can enable deploy notification. So whenever deploy will happen, you can send notification, and inside when you are running command, if you want to use some kind of variable, these are the variable is present, so you can use those variable. Okay, so hope you have enjoyed this episode and learn about how you can easily deploy your Laravel applications. See you in the next episode. Thank you.